Hello everybody, this is Sam Hack here with Rent to Retirement, coming at you hot with another real estate educational video here in Gardner, Montana. I'm standing here on the banks of the Yellowstone River, right below me here, and the gates to the north entrance of Yellowstone National Park, right up the road. It's been quite an awesome experience, cross-country skiing up here and visiting, seeing bison, elk, moose, and all the other beautiful wildlife that Montana and Wyoming have to offer. I'm absolutely loving life, and all of it is possible because of real estate. Without investing and even working in real estate, I wouldn't be where I am today. And it's time for you to start living the life that you want as well. How are you gonna do this? Well, it's all about investing in rental real estate that produces mailbox money, as I like to call it. Mailbox money is just passive rental income that's gonna show up in your mailbox whether or not you get dressed and go to work every day. Getting started in real estate can really seem like a daunting task. It's because there's just a million ways in the industry to make money, and so choosing one of those can be tough. It's also important that you learn all the details and gain the knowledge so you can feel comfortable before buying your first property and signing on that dotted line. Today, I'm gonna be breaking down step by step how to buy your first investment property in a general sense, and then I'm also gonna talk about my first experience buying a rental property and how you can compare and contrast that with your own life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell below to stay up to date with all Rent to Retirement's content and educational videos. All right, let's do it. Step number one, go and look at some real estate. That's right, the fun part comes first. By this I mean you should sign yourself up for a Zillow.com account or any of those other real estate listing websites, or maybe even get a real estate agent that can send you MLS listings on a regular basis. By doing this, it's gonna give you a feel for real estate costs in your area and give you an idea of how much money you're gonna need in order to buy something. By looking at properties regularly, it's also gonna motivate you and keep investing at the front of your mind so that you can put the work in to make this dream happen. In my own experience, I signed up for pretty much every single real estate website out there, Zillow.com, Realtor.com, Trulia, you name it. I also made a spreadsheet so that I could easily plug in numbers I found on those websites to see if the property is gonna make sense for me to buy. Step number two, save money. There's no secret that real estate costs a lot of money, and so one way or another, we're gonna need some in order to do this thing. With this comes the first step of saving up for a down payment. Well, your down payment can be a little bit or a lot, depending on what type of loan you get. You could also partner with somebody else who's gonna put in the money for you in exchange for you finding the deal or managing the property in the future. There's a million different ways to come up with the money for a down payment for a property, but I suggest the KISS method, which is keep it simple, stupid. And by that I mean literally just save your money, put it in a savings account, hide it under your mattress, whatever you need, and then go ahead and put that down on a home yourself and own that property 100% in your name. In my particular case, I just accelerated my income and I worked nights, I worked overtime, I did dog sitting, and I even rented out my car for extra cash. Once I had this money, I went and stashed it in a high yield savings account at my local credit union so I wouldn't spend it, and before you knew it, I had enough for a down payment. Step three, talk to a lender. So now that you have some money saved up, let's say between 5 and 20% of a home's value, you're gonna wanna go find a bank or mortgage broker that can evaluate your financial picture and tell you whether or not you're in a good spot to buy a property. This lender is gonna do a full financial background check on you to see if you're ready. If you're not, well, you might have to go back to the drawing board, but at least you know where to go from there. Hopefully, you'll spell out your full financial picture for the lender. They'll evaluate it and agree that you're in a good spot to buy a property, and then they're gonna issue what's called a pre-approval letter, which is gonna show how much money you're approved to borrow for the property. For me, this is where I learned the most in my first investment property journey. I found a lender online, got a pre-approval letter, and quickly started developing a relationship with them. However, I quickly realized that the lender was a bit disorganized and not very responsive to my communication, so I sort of accepted that they weren't gonna be able to get my deal done. My real estate agent, Rad, recommended me to a local lender that was familiar with the area, and that lender quickly pre-approved me and got me ready to make my offer. Step 4, make an offer. This is the exciting part. So now that you're armed with that pre-approval letter, you're ready to go out and make things happen. That's right, time to jump off the cliff into the world of financial freedom through real estate. Now that you've seen hundreds, if not thousands of potential properties through your browsing of Zillow or those weekly updates from your real estate agent with the MLS listings, you're now gonna know what your target property is gonna look like. For me, that target property was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, new construction condo. I wanted to go with new construction because I knew everything would be new and fresh and not require a lot of maintenance. I also wanted 2 bedrooms and 2 baths actually because I wanted to have a roommate so I could rent out one room, which would help me pay the mortgage. Lastly, I made sure that this property was reasonably priced because I didn't want to stretch myself too thin financially. When you find that property, even if it's not perfect, make the offer. Real estate is a get-rich-slow scheme, and it's more about time in the market than it is about timing the market, waiting for that perfect property or the right price. Step number 5, close. So closing is just a fancy real estate term for saying you're going to sign that dotted line and you're going to complete the purchase of your property. Between making an offer and actually closing, there's a lot of due diligence items in between there, and you want to make sure you do those so what you think you're buying is actually what you're buying. If you have a competent real estate agent, and a good one at that, like my friend Rad, they'll walk you through all these things and make sure that you're closing with flying colors. When I closed on my first property, the condo, it was one of the best feelings of my life. I really felt I was taking control of my financial future, my housing situation, not paying any more rent, and it helped me overcome my fear of real estate investing being scary, but I soon found out it was pretty easy. I was finally able to sign on the dotted line and call that piece of property my own and my home. Referring back to my keep it simple, stupid method, there's just a lot of detail here and even more in between the lines that's important to keep track of. Not everyone can find that perfect real estate agent like my buddy Rad. This is why I suggest leaving the details to the pros and making sure that nothing is overlooked, and linking up with a professional turnkey company like Rent to Retirement. There are plenty of people in the world who want to find you a property, sell it to you, and never talk to you again. But that's the opposite of what we do here at Rent to Retirement. The reason I'm making this video is to educate people about the power of real estate, whether or not you decide to use Rent to Retirement. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and good luck buying your first property.